Okay, so now we got Archer here. So I want to apply the same principles with the sit and the down that we did on place. Now, I put the place bed up with a young puppy because I don't want them to be confused and trying to guess what I'm asking. If he jumps on me, I'm just going to do a little leash pressure and tell him no. At this age, we can start applying age-appropriate consequences, which would just be a leash correction. Nope, get him off. And then once he makes a good choice, pay him for that. Good job, buddy. I think it's important to start having some manners with him because he is an Australian Shepherd. They can have a tendency to be pushy, and so as he's young, we want to make sure that we're establishing some kind of boundaries. Again, it's not anything crazy, it's not intense, it's age appropriate, but I want to make sure that he understands that jumping on me doesn't get you food, and there's a consequence in doing so. Oh boy. Same with like mouthing me or taking something out of my hand. He's doing really good on this sit right here. So with the sit, same thing. He knows it really well. Okay, I want to make sure he understands the release, because if he understands that, it actually helps a young dog stay a little bit easier because they're not in any way confused on when it is appropriate to get up. Good sit. He gave it to me, so we're rolling with it. So same thing, food on the ground doesn't matter. Sit means sit. No, sit. Good boy. Okay, there you go. So when I release him, if he wants to get some of these pieces he dropped here, he can because he's out of a command. Find it? Like I'm using my nose, I'm looking for it. So we want to make sure that that's really clear. Getting into the command and that he needs to stay there despite what's happening. Now, I don't expect him to hold it super well, and the distractions are fairly minimal, but as he gets older, the principles will be the same. We just make it a little bit more challenging. So, same with the down. Archer. I'm going to plop him into a down. Now, with a young dog, I'm going to help them. So, I'm down on his level, paying him as he stays here. Good job. Okay, good boy. Now, sometimes dogs have a tendency to greet you in the air to get the food, and if that's the case, it might just be where I put the food. So if I'm working on a DOWN with him, if I tell him the word and I have my treat fairly high, it's hard for a puppy because they have to practice so much impulse control. So I might help him out at this age where I plop him into a down and I'm coming in with the food low, and I'm clicking and paying him as he's doing what I'm asking. Boy. Okay, good. So he knows you guys have worked on a weight with him. That's okay if you add the weight. You don't need to. We can keep it really simple with a dog and just sit means sit, down means down, place means place. And then what we want to start doing is creating a little bit more duration and some distance over time as he gets better with it. So with the sit, Archer, sit. So I'm going to click. I'm going to step away. If he follows me, I'm going to use my leash, sit, just to pop him back into position because I want age-appropriate consequence. No, sit. He's trying to get the food in my hand. Good. There you go. Come away. And right now it's just baby steps. Good. No, sit. There you go. And he's really smart with the no. And it's almost just like being out of bounds. He's like, oh, shoot, I need to fix that. Sit. Good. Okay. Good boy. So as I get better and better with this, I want to come up and keep paying him. So if he, let's say I'm able to walk 5 or 6 steps back, I'm going to walk 5 or 6 steps back, then come in and reward for staying there. What a lot of people want to do is they want to take 5 or 6 steps back and then call the dog. And what can happen is over time, the dog starts to anticipate that recall, and so they will break prematurely from their stay command. And so when I'm going away, sit, have my leash to stop him, good, pay him, No. Sit. Okay, so he starts to anticipate the food coming back to him, and then maybe I do this 5 or 6 times, and then when I'm here, I might release him, okay? So instead of releasing him when I'm far away, I release him from close, and so he can start to learn a little bit of patience and you coming back to him versus him running to come get the food or running for recall. Now you can add that stuff later on, but at this stage where he's still fairly new, he's better at the down than the sit, but fairly new to the concept of stay. So I can come away, good, down. I'm gonna reiterate the down, good boy. He's like, I might have dropped a treat here. No kibble left behind, good. So come back up, so I might take a step back, no, down, pop him back into a down. There you go, good boy. Take a step back, then come close, okay, and release him. And now if I get better and better with more distance, it will come in handy with him. So he's learning his cues really well. He's a smart puppy. Good job, buddy.